Good morning. Good morning. Hello. You from which part? Nigeria. What a problem there. Venezuela. Good, yeah. Yeah. Please, sit down. Okay. So firstly, I want to thank you personally and also your organization. You created this opportunity at least 3 times or something.
This is our 3rd year.
3rd year. Reason, time always moving. Time never stand still, moving. Then past is past. We cannot change past. So only possibility is future. So the generation, at present generation, you see, have some opportunity to create what kind of future. Then look back 20th century. I think immense violence. I just mentioned there. As I remember, First World War, Second World War, then Vietnam War, Korean War, and also, you see, immense civil war in Russia and China. So according to some sort of historian, they say about 200 millions of human beings killed. And once you see war happen, a lot of destruction. I myself, you see, have the opportunity to visit Hiroshima and Nagasaki. See, I think Hiroshima, this is some damaged sort of building still there. And then most important, I met some old lady who suffer radiation, nuclear radiation. When I met them, and then they are on watch 10 o'clock morning, that bomb blast. So watch stopped at that moment. Some part of the watch melted. So I think in the 20th century, we really sort of thinking, use force is the sort of answer for all these problems. That's totally wrong. So, I feel, see now, beginning of 21st century, still, I think the reality much changed. I think global economy, no national boundary. And the climate change, no national boundary. Entire 7 billion human beings now facing this problem. And then due to technology and these things, now I think people, east, west, south, north, you see the information about other part of the world very clear. I remain here, Dharamsala, quite isolated, but through television, mainly BBC and CNN, is what happened in Nigeria and Iraq. It's quite so familiar. And the rest of the world. So I think because of these new development, I think a sense of oneness, basically now there is sort of the basis of sense of oneness there. Now we really need, in order to future, more happier future, more peaceful future. Firstly, who creates this violence? War. Not by animal, but by human being. Isn't it? And basic human nature, now some scientists say, basic human nature is more compassionate. It's obviously very clear, including ourselves. I think 7 billion human beings, we all come from our mother. And we survived with mother's milk, mother's taking care, affection. So, our life, the affection, love, is so important. Our life started that way. So everybody have the seed of compassion. So now, you see some kind of sense of concern of your own close friend. That's attachment, not genuine compassion. Genuine compassion on the basis of, same human being, I do not want suffering. I want joyfulness. They also human being, so you see, they have right to achieve joyfulness life, happy life. So then sense of concern of their well-being, that is compassion. Mother's compassion, although emotionally some sort of attachment there, but that take as a seed, then use human brain, human intelligence, analyze what is the value of selfish. We are social animal, just selfish, think oneself. It's against the very nature. We are even animal, those social animal, they have some sort of biologically some sense of same community and taking care of each other. The animal, you see, cannot do much but licking. Their one companion feel sort of illness or something, then the companion. Their strong sense of community. Because you see, they need community. Without community, those social animal, as an individual, very difficult to survive. So basically, we are social animal. No matter how sort of powerful one individual, without community, cannot survive. So now today's reality, 7 billion human beings, whole humanity are one community, I feel. Eastern, their future depends West. West, their future depends East. Similarly, South, North. Then on top of that, the climate condition, global warming. That's a very serious matter now. We cannot avoid that. Within, I think, 1 or 2 centuries, I think there is possibility the whole world become desert. In Afghanistan? Person or you?
Yeah.
So when I sort of flying over Afghanistan, many part of Afghanistan, previously some snow mountain and lake now disappear, remaining some area, small lake. Otherwise become desert. Now Himalayan range, including Tibet, also now becoming, you see, the climate change already. I mentioned, you see, my own sort of experience when I first came here, Dharamsala, 1960, summer 1960. That winter, lot of snow. Now, each year pass, less. So I sort of suggesting the local officials, some occasion. I mentioned, now we cannot take for granted because of the water resources here. Now, even within the last 5 decades, you see snow less. So, you see, we have to think more seriously in future water resources. So, for the time being, some sort of river there. So we have to think some kind of dam, reservoir, like that. So that's, you see, the nature of global change. So now, the global warming, I think, telling us you should work together. And small fighting, different nation, or sometimes, unfortunately, even religious faith also make a divide. And within Muslim, Shia and Sunni, senseless. Says same Quran, same Allah, same Quran, and 5 times prayer, same. The small differences, and different name, Shia and Sunni killing each other. Senseless. Now, as far as religious harmony is concerned, in this country, India, over 3,000 years, different religious tradition develop. Firstly, homegrown different religious tradition, Sangha philosophy, Jain philosophy, and then Buddhist philosophy. In the philosophical field, there are differences, but no quarrel. Intellectual level, yes, some debate, argument. That's good to further development of our intelligence. Otherwise, you see, live together. Then over 2,000 years, I think the Judeo-Christian tradition reached here. Also Islam. No problem. So I recently I suggested to Indian Muslim, you should organize some meeting. Firstly, national level, then gradually international level Muslim conference. So let them see there's no problem. Shia and Sunni, we can live in this country. All major world institutions live together. So, you see, that reality, not just recently developed, over 3,000 years, that harmony among the different religious tradition there. So this should show that our brothers, sisters, where due to different religious faith, some problems, we must show them. Religious harmony is very possible. Now India, over 1 billion population, big nation, and I think you all may notice you see a lot of problems. However, as far as religious harmony is concerned, I think really example of the rest of the world, religious harmony is possible, can live together.
Your Holiness.
So now main point is youth. You have great opportunity to make significant contribution for better world, happier world. So I'm great honor mixing with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your Holiness, you've already touched on a lot of the themes that I know are important, and our youth leaders look forward to discussing with you, so thank you. And if I could also just thank you on behalf of all of our colleagues from U.S. Institute of Peace who are here and who are around the world, all of our youth leaders, all of our thought leaders. In the 4 years since we first met and discovered that our visions were very closely aligned of a world without violent conflict, and we were able to put this program together. This is our third group. And today we have 28 youth leaders from 14 different countries. 14. We have thought leaders with us as well. I want to just say thank you from last year's group of youth leaders. This is the record of those who came last year, and we know that they have continued to benefit from the wisdom and joy that you brought to them last year. And I'd also like to take a moment to present Siddharth with a copy of this book as well, because we're so grateful to Siddharth for helping to make this possible. We are here because of his assistance, so thank you. And then just so you know who's in the room, we wanted to go quickly around the room and just have people say their names and where they're from. So you get a sense of the breadth of geography that we've covered here. So we'll just go quickly around the room.
I'm Miron from north of Iraq.
You pass the mics around to say that. Thanks.
I'm Dalia from Venezuela. I live in the border with Colombia.
I am Wadi from Nigeria, northern Nigeria.
Paula from Colombia.
Yeah.
I'm Lama from Syria.
Syria.
Lama from Syria, yeah.
I'm Amr from Syria also.
Which part of Syria? Within Syria, some
Yeah, I'm
fighting?
from Damascus, from the capital.
I'm from the coastal side in Syria. The coastal, yeah.
I'm Omar from Libya.
Oh, Libya.
Libya.
I'm Sarah from Tunisia.
Tunisia, yes.
I'm Ghadi from Libya. I'm Dua from south part of Iraq. Dua from south part of Iraq.
Doha.
Yeah.
From Iraq.
I am Mohammed from Somalia.
Somalia.
I'm Suleiman from Afghanistan, north part of Afghanistan.
I'm Casey from the Central African Republic.
I'm Libby from the United States.
I'm Katie from the United States.
I'm Maya from the United States.
I'm Rob from the United States.
I'm Greg from the United States.
I'm Jimmy from the United States.
I'm Vicky from the United States.
I'm Aubrey from the United States.
I am Lupai from South Sudan.
I'm Allison from the United States. I'm Husnia from Afghanistan.
Hmm?
Husnia from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
I'm Haider from Iraq.
I am Sebastian from Colombia.
Colombia.
I'm Noor from Libya.
I am Tania from Colombia.
I'm Waberi from Somalia.
I'm Janina from Venezuela. Venezuela.
Brazil. Venezuela, huh?
I'm Sharif from Afghanistan.
I'm Nhing Bang from Myanmar.
From
Myanmar.
Burma, right.
I am from Burma. Auntie
No.
Masa from Syria also.
I'm Sarah from Tunisia.
I'm Nam from Myanmar, Burma.
Kaza.
Burman.
Right. Your address. Oh.
I'm Kinem from Central Africa Republic.
Central Africa.
Yeah. So we as a group have been reflecting a lot these past several days on the very difficult challenges that they face as being committed to building peace in environments that have a lot of conflict, and how they face the challenge of creating that inner resilience and that inner peace that helps them go forward. So we thought we would start the conversation with you, really focused on that fundamental question of how do you break the cycles of conflict that often go on for generations because of that lack of the inner peace. And I wanted to ask Miron if he could get us started with this dialogue, with our thanks again, Your Holiness, for being with us today.
Thank you very much. My story started when back then in 2014. I was in Lebanon for a youth program, also exchange, dialogue from different people of Middle East countries. And in that area we had a limited access of internet, and I didn't have lots of in touch with my family. At the end of the day, at the end of the program, I went back to the airport and I had to call my family to pick me up. To pick me up from the airport to take me home. And I called my family were like, you should not come back, or you should find another country to come back, because everybody is leaving. I had to go back, and my brother was waiting for me. We went back home, to our home, there was nobody, and the ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Sham, they were almost about to attack us, and they attacked already other areas. We went to the safest area of the north. My town is Bashika, which is in Mosul, north of Iraq. And my community is the Yazidis. Yeah. And it was like we were the target of this conflict. And we went to the other safest areas, and we had to stay. We didn't, like everybody had no place to stay, and we had to stay for 5 to 10 days, sleeping on the streets and or inside the cars. And we heard the stories, like we had to go back and listen to the radio, or if we had access to internet. We heard that most of the other cities that were captured, all the women were taken as sex slaves, and the children. Yeah. And the children were taken to be planned to be terrorists. They would teach them and to make them terrorists. At that moment, I had...
Student
to be terrorists.
Terrorists. They were teaching them to be terrorists and soldiers. At that moment, we saw so much of hate. We started to have hate inside. I myself had so much hate against other religions and other minorities who didn't help or who fought with us. And for sometimes I knew that that's not the solution. And I had to recover and find peace, because you mentioned earlier in the beginning of your speech that the past is gone and what's important is the future. So I had in a group with youth people, we had to start having dialogue with the intercultural and religious dialogue with the youth people of different religions to have sense of peace building. My question is, I had the inner peace inside myself, and I had suffering to get that inner peace inside myself. How do you think we can transfer or share that inner peace to the other generations, to the youth? Thank you.
Yes, very important and difficult task. Now I want to share, some of my also the effort. Now, existing sort of situation of the world, if goes continuously this, I think this century, 21st century, also will be miserable century. Now we have to think how to overcome. Not working? Oh yes. Our hope is some scientist. I think I share. You see here the story, whole story. I have sort of dialogue with scientists over 30 years, mainly cosmology and new biology, neurobiology, then physics, particularly quantum physics, then psychology. So this very room, you see some occasion, discussion. So over 30 years, our experience become quite clear. We can, at the mutual learning, we can learn some scientific findings, very useful. To them, ancient Indian sort of knowledge about psychology, they found very, very helpful. Then, quantum physics. One of my Indian nuclear physicist, he once told me, quantum physics in the world, in the West, something new. But this country, over 2,600 years, already developed quantum physics. So it is true, when I discuss with scientists, like quantum physics and psychology, we already sort of have fuller knowledge. The scientist, just the beginning, like that. So then, you see, the today's world, we really passing through some kind of crisis of emotion. Too much destructive emotion. The religion also use for one side victory, one side defeat. So my point is, one occasion, one scientist mentioned with one picture, this is 6-month-old baby, language not yet developed. So anyway, so our existing sort of, because of the troubled world's influence not yet developed, because no language, 6-month-old. So nature, human sort of, percept or human feeling, very much alive, not, spoiled. So, they do 6-month-old child, one sort of cartoon. In that cartoon, two children. One children you see, pushing ball upward. Then another child helping that person. And that picture shows that 6-month-old child smiling. Because you see the picture helping each other. So that child feels happy. I like that. So then next sort of cartoon. The one child pushing that ball, the another child create obstacle, pushing back. So when that 6-month-old child saw that unhappy sort of expression, so that scientist now concluded basic human nature is more compassionate. Then because of the practical level, we all come from our mother. Without mother's affection, mother's care, we will not survive. That's very clear. And then, according to medical scientists, constant anger or stress, very bad for our health. Other hand, more peaceful mind is very good for our health. So usually, according to our common sense, now anger, fear creates these destructive emotions. More compassionate mind is the antidote of anger. And also, you see, reduce fear, because fear very much related with self-centered attitude. Compassion is taking care of others' well-being. So too much self-centered attitude creates fear, irritation, and creates anger, then violence. So this is nothing to do with religion, but according to medical scientists now they say that, like that. So therefore, and according to my own experience, I think I can share these young people. My age now nearly 84. And my whole life, not easy, lot of difficulties. Age at 16, I lost my freedom because of Chinese invasion. Then, age 24, I lost my own country, become refugee. In a way, become refugee, but in a way, I become guest of Indian government. Now I am the longest guest of Indian government.
And Your Holiness.
So now my life, you see, difficult life. But I can keep peace of mind. So that also, you see, sort of immense sort of help, you see, to maintain quite good sort of the physical health. So therefore, according to my own experience, now inner peace on the basis of try to reduce anger, suspicion. That the psychological sort of field, the mind, anger, not independent, very much related with a lot of other emotion. So therefore now I fully committed revival of ancient Indian knowledge, how to tackle our emotion. In this country, over 3,000 years, the concept of single-pointed meditation, which is called shamatha, and analytical meditation, we call vipassana, investigation. So Buddha himself, product of these ancient Indian knowledge. So India, I really feel now ancient Indian knowledge, how to tackle our emotion, how to bring inner peace. Now modern India, although you see not much pay attention about these sophisticated sort of knowledge, how to tell our emotion, but at least in this country still use the concept of ahimsa, non-violence, still. So therefore, now my commitment, revival of ancient Indian knowledge in modern India. Because it's a modernity, you see, our education itself, also you see, modern education very much emphasis material value, not talking about our inner value. So therefore, now firstly, I am now committed to revival of ancient Indian knowledge about inner world and combined with modern education, which produced by Britisher. That also important, science, technology, and these things. But that alone, we already noticed many countries materially highly developed, but too much problem in emotion. So therefore, now I want to share with you tomorrow, the government college at Dharamsala, the head principal will come. So I already, you see, start some work program, how to introduce ancient Indian knowledge in modern education field. So the college, the principal, and some teacher, they're fully sort of committed now. Now we have some program in Delhi also. So now I want to say, you see, the student, firstly from Afghanistan, our neighbor, and then some of the Burma or some of the sort of people, these tropical area. I think I really feel join instead of go to Europe or America. Come here in India, study modern education plus ancient Indian knowledge, how to tackle our emotion. I feel India, you see, can help, I feel. So I really want to see, welcome to more students. You see, instead of go to Europe or America. You see, if you really want making more dollar, then go to America or euro, you go to Europe. But if you really want inner peace, come to India. That's my view.